All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the Unpredictables Podcast Show. I'm your host, JR, aka J Reaper, and Big Fish and Mr. Versace is not in the building. But it's okay. We'll make do what we got. I'm getting a text message. Would not be surprised. I don't know if there's next on this. Well, I'll say it. That'll be all right. Pull up my notes for the day. Hope y'all having a great Thursday, May 19th. A lot of crazy stuff going on this week. A lot of crazy stuff. I'm pulling my notes from earlier. We're gonna go over the morning brew to make sure everything is everything. All right, so for the morning brew, we're gonna go over a couple of stock options. Stocks are still down. They said actually, if you want to buy stock, or probably ditch it. Now's the time. Stock is just out of control. It's going down and down and down. So we'll see if it gets up. See, ASG, no, must cause hypocrisy. No news there. 20 headlines. The pay gap is gone in U.S. soccer. Okay. Oh, women's soccer, men's soccer. I believe that's what they're alluding to. The government waiting for schools to spend COVID funds. Okay, so a lot of these schools are still not spending COVID funds. It's weird. Key performance indicators, and last but not least, some other stuff. All right, so today's show, got a couple of topics I want to touch on. I'm gonna give a brief, few things we're gonna talk about. First, we're gonna talk about Young Thug, Gunners, and not just them two, but artists in general, and how that's affected and what's going on and what's going behind the scenes. We're also going to bring up the Nick Saban comment. If you haven't heard, it's going to be very interesting. We're going to go to the also talk about the transgender in sports because there's some new information came out. A couple of laws that were passed, a couple of states. But last, but definitely not least, we're going to retouch back on the Buffalo shooter situation. So without a further ado, we're going to run into the light stuff now. As far as the lightweight stuff, South Carolina bans transgenders from participating in high school and collegiate sports. South Carolina will make South Carolina the 16th state to do that. So all the Republican states are signing laws, which I don't. Put the pop filter on, so make sure you're not popping. I'm not saying I don't like it because we spoke earlier in the show about transgenders and them being able to perform at levels that can maybe hurt women's sports. Uh, we first talked about this topic 2 weeks ago when the woman swimming record was broken by a transgender female who was male 2 years prior. Like he was ranked like number 400 or something as a male, and then becomes a transgender female and then breaks the record. So we talked about how genetics and stuff like that, but a couple of these governors have stepped up to allow their state not to be affected as much. So they've passed laws to be sure that that's not going to be a thing. So I can only imagine what other 16 states signed that, but South Carolina was one of them. All right, Nick Saban. All right, so Nick Saban, if you don't know Nick Saban, he's a coach for Alabama, and he's supposed to be the GOAT, and arguably, not even arguably, he is the greatest collegiate coach to ever grace. Well, I believe it happened, I think 2 days ago. Yeah, I think 2 days ago. When they was asking him, he was on a panel, I forgot the name of the show, whatever it was, they were talking about as far as recruiting because they just named Texas A&M the number one recruiting class, and Alabama was named the second. So I guess Nick must have been, maybe off the meds or feeling some type of way, but he came out and said it like Texas A&M, they pay for their players. They even took shots at Dion. I mean, like, they pay for their players. And when I tell you, Gosh, what's his name? Uh, Jimbo Fisher. When he clapped back, man, hold on. Jimbo comes off talking about first. He says it's asinine and it's all fake, but then he starts to spill some other tea. And don't be surprised if some shit come of it. Oh shit, B Fish in the lobby. All right, B Fish. Oh shit. Oh yo, B Fish, you in the building?
Waiting on you. You done started the show. It was like, hey, they not here. I'm here. You gotta let me in, bro. I'm knocking on the door. I done stood in front of your little camera. Hey man, hey man. I saw you. You was like testing, testing. Yeah, bro. I've been here the whole time, man.
Guys, for those that don't know, B Fish is an official member. He is a bull now. He is one of the bulls of other
Thank you.
big bulls. And hold on. So I seen you in the corner, but your face wasn't showing. So I thought you was like still trying to figure some shit
Nah, I
out.
was it was figured out. So you knew I was
Yeah.
here the whole time and then gonna tell the people I'm not here. Well, I tell you, be your own
So
people.
in earlier
I
sports,
know what's gonna say on the back of your t-shirt when you show up to the event.
was that
Your name.
shots fired? Yo,
My
when they go
bad.
back,
Inside joke.
yo, when they go back and look at these tapes, hold on, did you say that? And they're like, pull the tapes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the topic you were speaking on the money, the NIL agreements that these teams are
Yes,
putting together.
yes, yes,
You
yes.
brought up Jimbo Fisher and what Nick Saban had to say
Woo.
about him.
And
Well,
did you
you were
hear that?
right. I heard it, man, and it's crazy. They actually, it's funny though because you said he even spoke on Dion a little bit. It looks as if Dion might have flipped it back on him and was like, "Hey, he not talking about us. He talking about he letting his boosters know that they let him down." You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? He was like, it
that
may,
makes
may look like
because
he shooting at us, but he been king of the hill for a while, and
because
everybody else getting the same
because
deal.
realistically, that's where that money is coming from. It's not coming from the school. It's the booth. You got Texas A&M. They got a bunch of oil money down there, so they sending that oil money through there. And then like so, he's letting A&M boosters know like, yo, I'm getting these. Hold on, you got a lot of noise. You good?
No, that's Mr. Versace is on.
Mr. Versace in the building.
He sound like he got all his windows down.
He ride with the top down.
Yeah, he on a motorcycle.
Sound like you on a motorcycle, man.
Just picking up that. Well, it's the AC on.
Damn. He got that good
Man,
AC.
my AC don't blow that hard in my Corolla.
Yeah, he super good. He feeling good. All right, Mr. Versace, welcome to the show. We on the
Yes, sir.
topic. We're on the topic of Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher getting into it, and I just learned
About
something
what?
today. Oh, you haven't heard?
No.
Oh man.
Nick Saban
So
is accusing Jimbo Fisher of buying his team with NIL deals.
Okay, it's
and
part of the game now.
yeah, but that's what I was saying. But Jimbo didn't take too light of that. When I say he didn't take too light of it, he clapped all the way the fuck back. Like he even sat there and said, "Actually, you know what? Why are we talking about
Yeah,
it?
just
We'll bring
play
it
it,
up.
bro.
Then we'll play it. That
Roll that beautiful footage.
beautiful bean footage.
I didn't want to steal it. We might get to
Oh shit,
what up,
yeah.
baked beans.
Oh, yeah, Bushes.
Boyfriend.
Bush, they can get a check. Jimbo Fisher. So basically, he said what he said. I don't want to see the whole press conference because it was 10 minutes long. Okay, I got a short one. So basically, after he got called out, he called an emergency press conference today and then said what he had to say. He said it was chest too. But like you said, a lot of commentators were saying the same thing. Like, hey man, this is part of the game. Like, what is the deal? Like,
Welcome to the small college world. Welcome to the HBCU world.
yeah, basically, yes. But that's why some people feel some type of way. Like, why would you attack an HBCU out of everybody? That you ain't gonna win that battle. All right, but here goes the footage. Roll.
First of all, I'll say it's a shame that we have to do this. It's really despicable. It's
it's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organ. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. We're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families. And they broke state laws. They're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all and the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach can come out and say this. And he doesn't get his way, or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen. It's ridiculous when he's not on top. And the parenting in college football you've been talking about, go talk to coaches, coach for them. You'll find out all the parenting. Go dig in wherever you've been.
Now that's what I think is going to cause a storm right there. He basically saying, "Okay, go dig. You'll find some shit."
You can find out anything, and it's a shame. You got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families and Texas A&M because we do things right. We're always going to do things right, but we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job. Our players have done a great job. The whole organization of recruiting people. It's despicable that we got to sit at this level of ball and say these things to defend the people of this organization, the kids, 17-year-old kids, and their families. It's amazing. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past, or anybody's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out. What he does and how he does it.
Oh, wow.
It really is. And it's a shame we have to sit up here and have this conversation about things we do. And it's personal to us? Yes, it is. It's personal to A&M, it's personal to our players, it's personal to our coaches, and everybody involved. And I know the guy. Know him really well.
Really.
It's amazing that we're allowed to do those things. It's really despicable. And I hate it. For our players who are coming here, who did things the right way, have done things the right way, will continue to do things the right way. I apologize to you if people insult you publicly the way they're doing. And our fans, I apologize to you guys for people saying those things about Texas A&M. I promise you this: there are no violations. There are nothing wrong. It's the second time we've had to do this with grown men who don't get their way and want to throw a fit and act up. Just go ask all the people who work for him to know exactly what he's about. I always said this. My dad always told me this: when people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is.
Questions?
So to preface it for the people that are watching it, who are not familiar with an NIL deal, it is something new to college, and I believe it started last year. Correct?
Yeah.
And what an NIL deal is, it stands for the name, image, and likeness payments that a player can receive while playing, college sports, in particular college football. And what's funny about it is he's like digging to this man's character, and you'll see that he's mad at us now because we can do what he did before it was a thing. It's almost like he's throwing shots, like saying, like, "Hey, dig into his background and find out all these skeletons he got in the closet."
Oh yeah.
While he throwing rocks at us with his glass house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's basically what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? And what's funny about that is that Nick Saban was saying, he was like, read about it in the paper. He said that when he spoke on Jackson State, he said they paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to the school. It was in the paper. They bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it. I mean, these guys at Miami that are going to play basketball, they're for $400,000. It's in the newspaper. The guy tells you how he's doing it. But it's legal.
Yeah, that's the part.
So what's the problem?
What is he mad about?
Right.
Like, dude, when they opened the floodgates, at that point, you should have been able to pivot as a coach. As a coach, you're taught to pivot and make it as, like, once they did that, you thinking everybody's gonna sit there and no, dude, you run the biggest college football chain of players there. People gotta get competitive.
And it's funny that you said that, because now my thing is this. So what, are we afraid of a little competition?
Oh,
The playing field is even now. We got our lineups looking the same across the field now. Now you got a coach.
yes.
Now you got a coach.
You can't be a Phil Jackson.
No.
You just can't take great players until you take the credit of being a great coach.
So now we finna see what their heart be like. We finna see what you built like. You scared? What's going on?
I know this is way early. That game was probably gonna be the best game next year.
Oh, they're gonna try to give it to him.
Oh,
They're gonna try to give it to him.
Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be so personal.
Because you know, if he lose, if they lose, you already know where Nick Saban is going with that.
Yeah.
Bought all those players and you still couldn't beat me.
Yeah, but see, he beat them. But see, A&M beat them last year.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. But now he's acting like they're even
Oh,
better than they were before. You beat me before, and now he's super nervous because we're talking about national championships at stake now.
yeah. Oh,
You
I
know
think
what I
I got.
mean? And
When
so
he,
it's go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say when he brought up Dion, we were speaking on that. So when he brought up Jackson State, Dion went on to say, "Hey, Coach Saban wasn't talking to Jimbo Fisher. He wasn't talking. He was talking to his boosters. He
Yeah,
was talking to his alumni. He was talking to his givers. He's trying to get money. That's what he was doing. He was just
yeah,
using it where he was trying to get to. Now, could that be a little like playing it coy? Like he was talking to y'all for real, for real. But
yeah,
at the time, you kind of new to this alumni in that aspect. So
yeah,
you might need that coach to lean on one day. You know what I'm saying? To where you can't say it how you want to say it, but on top, he that guy. He the Mecca.
yeah. He is. I just didn't see the shot at Dion because they've done like 3 or 4 commercials together. So I think
Right.
by they're both sponsored by Aflac. So they both get a check.
They
And
do.
so that was I really don't think he was I don't think he was really taking a shot like that,
When
like a
he when he
publicity shot.
he may not have been, but when he states they paid a guy $1 million, you can read about it in the newspaper, and he
Yeah,
specifically said Jackson State,
yeah,
shots fired.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. We start calling our names. But
Right.
yeah. Because he was salty that they got the #1 recruiting class. He's not
Right,
able
because
to
that's been all the news ever since it happened.
yeah, it has.
So where do they go from here? What
Oh
what
no.
what happens if a team gets this NIL thing going the correct way and they got it right,
Yeah.
and they have a losing season? All these players that are joining the transfer portal and all this kind of stuff that are trying to leave these teams,
Yeah.
how big can it get before some of these kids go to these teams and get disgruntled because they aren't getting playing time even though they got paid? Do they just take the money and be quiet on the bench?
I mean, at this point, we pay you to be here. It's like your job.
Right,
Like, even though
right,
they may not have work at your job when you get there. But guess what?
right,
You can pay me while I'm here. So at this point, now the school can be like, shut up. You get paid.
right.
You
How
get
does it
it.
work though if your paid player enters the transfer portal because they're not happy? Transfer portal.
I
Are
wish
they
I
signed
had
to a contract now? How does that work?
good question. I don't know. We need to find out. We
Right.
need to go up.
Well,
Listen,
it
there
can't
you
be
go.
more. The scholarship is 1 year, so it can't supersede a scholarship. It wouldn't make sense to supersede the terms of a scholarship. Scholarships are year to year now, so I can't see the NIL superseding the terms of a scholarship.
Wait, so you can no longer get a full ride scholarship in
Oh
sports?
yeah,
No,
that is
it's
true. Yeah,
renewable every
they
year.
just
You have to
they just
re-earn that
changed that.
scholarship every year.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. That's
It's been like
true.
that for a while now.
Well, I'm saying that. Oh wow, because I'm looking at it like so kids are no longer picking. It's almost like little league teams now. They're picking where they can go win at that first year.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
What happens to the
NCAA.
education side of it, man?
You know,
that's been
education was
done.
never. Yeah, education was on decades ago.
I say that because that first year of being on the team,
Yeah,
if some of these can
that's true.
they still have to wait to a certain age though to declare eligible for the NFL draft though, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So you get $1 million as a freshman. Where do you go from there? And a national championship.
Good question. I don't know. Where do you go?
That's crazy, bro. That's
this is crazy.
dang. The game has changed.
Game is changed.
They used to cheer in the locker rooms when the kid that had a half ride or a partial got a full ride. They calling parents on FaceTime and sneaking up on them with the letter in their hand. You got a full ride, man. So how do
Yeah.
you feel now if you're the kid on the team that don't have an NIL deal?
Oh,
You
like
know what I
yeah,
mean?
you got a full
You
ride, but you didn't get no NIL deal.
and you a dog, you know. Because if it's for a year, if it's a year by year, some of them like none of these kids getting full rides no more, right?
No, not really.
Or if you take the NIL, is it if you take the NIL, you don't get a 4 year, or is it? I don't know, bro.
I think it's
I need to do my research.
yeah. That'll be interesting to see how everything plays out because I would love to see how this works.
Yeah.
All right, rolling on to our next topic, and this one actually we touched on it last week, and it's an ongoing of the Buffalo shooting situation. Now you know as things go, more news comes about it, and the news that I got was the parents are now saying that due to COVID, yeah, due to COVID, instead of in a state of depression and prior to COVID, he wouldn't have been able to do this and all this other stuff. So,
Mm.
bro, we all went through that. We all went through the COVID years and well, not years. Well, actually, it was years. And we feel that the parents are trying to play the whole. Just like I mentioned on last show, watch the narrative change. It's going to be about mental health and stuff like that. Whenever it's like that, of someone of that persuasion or whatever you may call it,
Yeah.
there's more mental health involved.
Right.
Now, also in that same topic, there was a 52-year-old that was trying to copycat. He called several businesses. He called his pizza joint that was predominantly ran by black people and was threatening, saying that he's going to do what he did today. Well, they ended up catching up to him. They got him arrested. Check this out.
Big dummy.
They're talking about he can serve a maximum sentence of 7 years.
Wow.
7 years, bro. He's telling you, yo, I'm gonna copycat what happened in Buffalo. I'm gonna find these little. He was looking for restaurants. He wanted to go shoot up a black restaurant,
Right.
and they end up pinpointing, found it was. He's arrested, locked up now, but they said he could get up to 7 years. For
Oh
that.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's something that needs to happen.
yeah,
I'll say that, like, to piggyback on what Mr. Versace said last week. When you talked about people that commit crimes and then you add on the type of punishment that fits the crime, you want to call in bomb threats and stuff like that, then we're going to make it worth your time. You're going to be famous, sitting in this jail cell for a while you think about what you did, man. You talking about, that's almost like, what is it? It's not terrorism, but when you go into like a government building and you say, I'll blow this mug up, people have got arrested for that. That's the felony, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
So
Yeah,
when you
it
call
is.
it, that's like a terroristic threat, is what it's called. Yeah. So when you
Yes.
call in and you calling in a restaurant, you telling them I'm gonna come do this. If they find you, like, they should cause some problems for you.
For sure. But now check this out though.
Because if you're that unstable, how I know you're not gonna get let go at work and then you go ahead and do all of this to these people?
Just like that boy happened. So about a year ago, he said he was going to shoot up school. He's going to do all this, do that. They checked him out. Okay, he's good. A year later,
Right.
this happens. So when are we going to start taking that type of shit serious? Because they were saying it came from nowhere. It wasn't. The writing was on the wall. He said he was going to do something like this. Here's the thing. They're also talking about, and I want to know how y'all feel about this. He was in these chat rooms, right? Telling everybody exactly what he was going to do, had the drawings and everything. People are saying that those people that was engaged in those chat rooms and talkings should be brought to criminal charges.
Yeah. The people that let it go on without turning them in?
Yes, they said all the people that was engaged
Yeah.
in entertaining it, talking about it and stuff like that.
Right. But haven't things like that happened in the past where there was I believe there was a case where this guy called this girl and he was talking about committing suicide and doing all this. And then she kind of like told him to do it. Nobody will miss you, all that kind of stuff. And I think he actually did it.
Yeah.
Wasn't she charged with that? Or they tried to charge her with something?
I don't know
I can't remember, but I think that.
I don't know
Yeah.
if anything came of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. She
Right.
was, they got the messages. She was like, just do it, just do it, just do it. He did it. And it's
Right.
like, oh shit.
Yeah, because if you hype somebody up to commit a crime, I think you should be an accessory in some fashion.
Okay.
Even if you're charged with a misdemeanor, I mean, come on, man. You can get charged with inciting a riot.
Yes, you can.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't this be something along those lines? I mean,
Mr. Roger, what do you think?
Say what? I wasn't paying attention.
Never mind.
oh man, boy, you
All
fine.
right. So, which leads me right into the next situation, right? There's a reason I decided to do these topics in this order, because it's kind of like setting yourself up, all right?
Right.
So, the topic at hand is not just Young Thug, but the several rappers that have been arrested for. Oh, Monica said, oh, she went to trial and was acquitted.
Wow.
Wow, that was damn. Okay,
Yeah.
damn. You gotta think how those parents feel. 'Cause that like
Right.
you talk my boy into doing that, and like I'm sorry, we gotta get even.
So I'll play the other side for a moment though.
Okay,
You
go ahead.
talk him into that, and he did it, but on the back end, the onus falls on him though because he did it.
It does, but we just talked about Oh, like what?
I said we talked about it, but he got to be willing to do it.
Yeah, but we talked about like inciting the riot.
Right.
If you like you can't. It's kind of like the thing with the gun law. You can't be poking the bear and the bear actually shoots and does something. No, I had nothing to do with that.
Right.
Like, yeah, you did. There's evidence showing that you enticed to suicide. So you got to eat some of that.
True.
All right, so moving on to the next situation with these. I was gonna say young rappers. I feel old by saying that. I'm just gonna say these rappers. You have a Young Thug, which is apparently this group, the YSL leader, along with Gunn and all other people. So here's the thing: they're charging, they're using their lyrics against them, right? And now you got Jay-Z and a couple other people in the bunch saying they're trying to pass a bill or a law to say that they're protected by the First Amendment. They're protected by this is just lyrical art. This is that. So, and I'm like, yeah, Jay-Z signed a petition now to keep rap music from being
But that's not what they're doing. They're using the lyrical content as part of the investigation to go inquire about crimes, to investigate crimes and tie them to certain crimes. If
crimes that actually happened.
If those lyrics match the crimes, not just you're getting charged for writing certain lyrics.
Right.
So it's not freedom. They're not taking away your freedom of speech. They're just saying, yeah, you have freedom of speech. But if you say, I shot a guy on 38th and Webster at 9:00, and then they go back and they find out there was a murder at 38th and Webster, now they're going to go take those lyrics as part of an investigation. That's what they're saying.
Like not trying to make, like, that's exactly what they're doing.
Right.
These rappers are literally saying, yo, Freddie G shot him on like that. What you just said is exactly what they're doing.
Exactly.
They're giving you a description of the crime scene. And when Jay-Z and all these other people come like, yo, we need to stand up. I said, oh, bro, hold on. Like, to me, what pisses me off is the hypocrisy.
Right.
For us to sit there and say, and like a lot of black people jumping behind this, but for us to say, I'm going to use two examples. We talked about how freedom of speech, certain people were talking about freedom of speech or stuff like that. When Elon Musk about, you just can't spew hate crime. Like they got, because they're saying freedom of speech, but then on the other side, they're like, well, you just can't talk this way. That's racist. That's this.
Right.
Well, this motherfucker talking about killing, and that's what pissed me off is the hypocrisy. How Jay-Z and all these other actors and rappers want to jump behind, they need to have freedom of speech. No, they don't. Not to the degree where you're encouraging kids to go kill other kids. Now saying, yeah, you gonna get this, but no, the way I read these lyrics are saying that, they call out people's names. They tell them they shot them. They tell them, yo, you next. And if that goes down, it's like, but then when you freedom of speech, you can't have it both ways. So if you gonna tell them someone can't say some racist shit, and they're like, oh, you can't use freedom of speech. That's hate speech. But yet, this is a crime. Is a crime. Is a crime.
Right.
That's a crime, and this is a crime. And you gotta pick what side. You can't have it both ways. Thoughts?
You're giving specific details on a crime, and then you having ties to a crime syndicate that can actually go out and carry out these crimes, and you're in the same breath an adversary, or an op, as they call it out here in these streets, to this other gang group. You may be implicated in some of the stuff that's going on, and then they may how they see a fight break out and they go back and roll all the camera footage and point people out in the crowd. That's what you're doing with those records, with those rap lyrics.
But here's the problem I have. Why are we? I mean, this when people are like, 1,000, yo, Jay-Z, there you go, sticking up for our people. I mean, there's thousands of people. So I'm like, are we that blind? Or those sleepwalkers that we're talking about? Because they think it's like, I don't understand why we're supporting that, because we have brothers that are really incarcerated for not doing a fucking thing. But yeah, we want to go, oh, now that one of these popular rappers, Young Thug, hold on, we gotta pull all the stops. We gotta get Jay-Z, we gotta get Oprah, we gotta free him. Fuck you mean? Why?
Right.
Why? Like, there's so many brothers that need to get out, that's been wrongfully accused and have these wrongful convictions for lesser crimes and shit like this. This dude is literally running a syndicate, and yet still, oh well, you know, free Young Thug. No, don't free that nigga. Keep him where he at. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. Like,
Right.
if you didn't do it, you didn't do it. But like, just based on like everything you said, yeah, I'm really about that life. Actually, it's funny because they used a snippet. He said, man, we can take the court. Yeah, I'll lie because I'm going to do what I do. And I'm going to keep like, it was so funny that it was only like 2 bars. He said, I'm going to deny it anyway, but I'm going to still, like, it was just, those 2 bars, just
Right.
anything the prosecution can say. And it's just, words matter. We can't say words matter when it comes to this, but over here, oh, it's just freedom of speech. This isn't real.
Right.
I don't like that shit.
I want to hear Mr. Versace's take on it, because you had a lot
You're not bad
to say. He gotta be. Look at he's looking like he is. Because you had a lot to say about Cardi B and her lyrics in that song that she had put out, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know.
Oh, I got a lot to say. There's a whole lot more. Like this whole week, from Monday to today, I've been on a whole nother level. There's so much going on right now as far as undercover racism. I don't know if y'all have been up to par about what's been going on in Michigan schools, what's been going on in the Florida schools. The House bill that got passed in the House, hopefully it goes through.
You talking about the replacement
I
theory?
think it's HR 350. Say again?
Were you talking about the replacement theory?
No.
Oh, okay.
So in Michigan, a school district, I'm gonna just summarize. They allowed kids to wear Confederate flags and say certain things.
I see
go back
that.
to slavery, go pick cotton, all that kind of stuff. No repercussions. So they protested. So y'all know about that. And the black kids that protested got suspended, but the white kids that protested didn't get suspended. So that's one issue. The other issue was, I believe it was a school in Florida. I have to find it. A school in Florida. There was a private school, I believe in the state of Florida. They had a science lesson on primates. So they had a whole bunch of pictures of different primates, and they had President Obama listed in one of those pictures.
Wow.
So, and then that made me go back, and for some reason I was just looking up slavery, like the inception of slavery.
Okay.
Do you know that Africans have been enslaved by every race on the face of this earth?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Every race.
Yeah.
And it's been going on since BC. And it just let me. I had the whole thing. I had a whole timeline of everything written down. I can't find that paper. I did it on Tuesday for today. But that's what my mind has been on, because what made me think about that was the House bill. I don't know if y'all the home terrorism bill that they were trying to pass, domestic terrorism bill that they were trying to get passed.
Unlike this.
So basically, you know how, the Black Panthers were listed as a domestic terrorist group way back when, right? But for some reason, the KKK has never been no white supremacist group, no other hate group, and the Black Panthers weren't even a hate group, have been listed as some sort of domestic terrorist group.
Actually, they were for a while, but then
Who is that? The Black Panthers?
No,
Or the KKK?
KKK. Trump is, after his second year, removed them from the list. They were put on somehow secretly. Like, I'm not saying secretly,
Right.
They were added to the list at some point in time. His second year, he removed them from the list. And somebody was talking like, Why is this not news? He removed the most hateful group ever to face this country off the hate. They're not officially listed as a hate group now, but they were like 7 or 8 years ago. But he removed it. But they were only on for like 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
So my whole mindset has been on, and I know last week we talked about genocide, self-genocide.
Yeah.
That's part of the issue. And when we got these two negatives going on right now, self-genocide, and we still have this anti-black push, this racist push still going on. Like, what is our world coming to, and when are we gonna wake up?
Yeah, we got a lot of sleepwalkers. I thought you were gonna mention something about the
Buffalo.
student. No, the student that wore the BLM shirts, they got suspended.
Yeah, they got suspended. Like, so right now that they just filed a $150 million lawsuit against the school district. But like that just goes to show you, like, this is what I was talking about undercover racism last week. Like, we want to sit there and believe that, oh, slavery is over. We have these rights. We can live in these neighborhoods now. We get these types of jobs now. Oh, everything is hunky-dory now. No, it's not. Racism is still prevalent in every facet of our lives.
Yeah.
It's just undercover.
Now
And now
they've
been empowered now that they had a certain person make them feel like you don't have to be undercover anymore. It's okay. Now they're coming out again. But it's always been there. It's never gone away. It has just been undercover. Now that they feel like they don't have to be undercover more, it's coming back out. But racism has never gone away. There's no laws, there's no bills, there's no statutes that have been passed to stop racism.
No.
So, like, we have got to do something. I'm talking about the people, our people that are in these places. They don't talk about it. They stay away from the conversation.
It's a sticky conversation. It forced them to do this.
They don't want to lose votes because they need the white votes.
They do.
Not only do they need the white votes, they need their white counterparts in the political realm in order to support some of these bills and stuff that they're going to pass if they get elected. You know, they're going to need that too, because like you said, we've been enslaved or imprisoned by almost every race out here, by almost every, by even our own people. We've been enslaved by our own people. I mean, even people that look like us but speak a different language. I mean, it's across the board.
Yeah.
And we have no real ally. And the bad part about that is if it came down to someone standing up to fight for anything, we don't even trust each other to do that.
Right.
We don't even want to stand on the front line with each other in order to fight back. So we always ask ourselves the question when we watch these movies, like these slavery movies and these movies, like we were watching, I don't know if y'all ever watched either the History Channel or the Smithsonian Channel. They got something called Aerial America. And I might have touched on this last week or Monday. It showed like slaves, like when the British came over, they came over and did the thing with the St. James Colony, and they were trying to get that started in Virginia. They were trying to get that started. What kicked off for them, what really helped them was that they had the tobacco trade.
Right.
And when tobacco picked up, the first thing they did was say, we can give free labor. They went and grabbed some slaves.
Right.
It caught on, and then the Americans was like, hey, they winning over here making all this money with free labor or little to no labor. Well, let's get us some too. And it spread like wildfire. Yeah. And I'm saying that because it's like, we always ask ourselves the question, when will we be mad? But you saw every time they came at first and they tried to do that to the natives fought back.
Right.
Not saying that in history we didn't fight back, but why have we never won? Like we got a couple of victories here and there, but why do they still think it's cool to do us like that to this day?
Because everything we've done has been
It's been wiped away. We turn the other cheek. We get slapped and go, I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah,
you know,
B-Fish, you just hit a nerve with me.
It's like
we hit a nerve. Oh, we gonna let's pray for him. Hold on. Mm-hmm. It's gonna get better. Let's pray on him, y'all. Let's just say a prayer. It will get better.
But here's the other thing too, though.
Yeah.
When it finally does kick off, and we have a martyr that's willing to stand out front and they say, hey, we finna fight fire with fire. Somehow the government gets involved and something happens to that person. So what do you do when you see your leader get taken out And that was the one that was spurning all the hope and the fight and we finna do it. It's finally finna happen. And then the government gets involved and that person disappears. You feel like where's the hope? Because if we stand up, even when they stood up in Tulsa, the military came in, but it's not in the books. But somebody pulled up out of nowhere. They dropped bombs on this place.
Yeah, they dropped bombs on it. Yeah,
they dropped bombs on it.
There ain't no civilian.
They did the same thing in Durham, North Carolina. So it's like when this stuff happens, who do we turn to and go, "Hey, man, we need help"?
Well, that's why I mentioned like who we should be able to turn to, but they're too concerned with the backlash.
They saving face and they trying to and they it's career over. It's my career over my people.
Right. That's the problem right now.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess there hasn't been one in all these years. So what do you say has been? What can you say is some type of a solution? What do we need besides? I know prayer is big. It's big. Yeah. But what else can we get to unify people? When you spoke on Ubuntu and stuff like that, what can we do to get people to look at it and go, it's bigger than me? So it got to be us.
We as a people need to. So let's say the councilmen. It starts with the councilmen, the mayors in the black districts. The people in those districts need to demand that they be the voice of the people like they're supposed to be. They're not doing it. And you keep voting these people back in there, just sitting behind a desk collecting a paycheck off of taxpayers, doing the bare minimum. They're not addressing the real issue.
Right.
They're too scared to address the real issue.
No, that's it, but it's not gonna have the same effect as you think it will. Remember back in the day, we had actual leaders. Right now, the leaders of our communities are entertainers. Now, whether any of us want to admit to, agree to it, or like it, it is going to take one of these prolific entertainers, who's not a leader, one of these entertainers to get things to change. Because then the sleepwalking folk will get involved. Just think of what's out of New Jersey? What's that? Sit out of New Jersey. Kareem Jeffries.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeffries. Brother is very, very talented. Has an exquisite tongue. He fights, does all this other stuff. But as much momentum as he has, he's still a politician. And to the average black person, he's the nobody.
Right.
We've almost turned into a Rome. The entertainment rules us. And we don't have any true black. Take that back. No, we do have true black leaders, but we're not willing to stand by those black leaders. But I guarantee you, if Cardi B, Beyonce, and all the women say, look here, this is what we're gonna do, I guarantee you within weeks, if not days, we'll have change. Because then we're willing to get behind somebody behind that.
Well, think about it. It's funny that you say that. Think about when all of them got behind the effort to get everybody to vote for Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Beyonce and them were on stage with him. Yeah. I think Puff Daddy did a campaign. Everybody was out and about. You know what I mean? And then after it happened, they all went back into their holes, bro, into the hills and their mansions and shopping sprees again and living their life. Like, because it don't affect them. It don't affect them, bro. No. Their tax bracket takes them out of, I hate to say, technically their tax bracket takes them out of racism, bro. They think they can buy their way out of everything.
They're taxed out of racism. Yeah, you know what? They don't have to deal with the problems that normal people do.
Right.
I get that.
Go ahead.
You have some. So now, like getting somebody to vote for Barack Obama, that's not. To me, that's not what's going to ruffle any feathers. When you get somebody like, I can't remember the guys in Atlanta. I don't know why I got brain freeze. Your boy in the ATL.
You talking about Killer Mike?
Killer Mike and he had his own show with the girl. God dang it, from Escape. I don't know why I got brain freeze right now.
T.I.
T.I. and Killer Mike have been trying to push legislation and things like that. But when they start talking about stuff that matters, nobody's listening.
Oh,
you get a small
I can answer that question. The light bulb didn't come on until they were too older.
Right.
So,
exactly.
So I get what you're like even the KRS-Ones and stuff that we talked about.
Right.
The light bulb hits but it hits later in their career
later,
when they
exactly.
don't have the same amount of momentum in following. Like, yeah, we'll rock with some T.I. or some Killer Mike. But I guarantee you, there's over 1 million kids in this United States of America don't even know who the hell Killer Mike is.
Right. And Killer Mike started his own country.
Oh, I heard about that.
He did. He made it happen.
So it actually happened. He
It
talked
happened.
about it, but
He made it happen.
you know what? Killer Mike pissed me off, though. I ain't gonna lie. A couple years ago. D-Fish, you know why.
What did he do?
You tell me.
No, remember when that shit happened with Ferguson and stuff like that? Went down.
What did he do?
Yeah, what'd he do?
When they was burning the buildings down and stuff. He did a press conference and everybody like, oh, he said, my father's a police officer, my brother's a police officer. What you call? Look here, I understand burning buildings. I'm not trying to be like. Now is not the time to burn down police buildings. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and look here, I'm not condoning that, but at that time, based on your background, shut the fuck up. Like, just like, you know, certain things like, hang on, my fight, wrong timing, bad timing. He started his press conference saying, you know, my father's a police officer, my granddad's a police officer, my brother's a police officer. So I'm gonna say this. Look here, this is, we don't need to be burning down these police buildings. It's not, and I'm like, brother, I get it, we shouldn't, but at the time, I think somebody put it best. At that point in time in our country, black people were about to explode. And that was the one thing they had. Yes, it cost millions of dollars. It was wrong. I do not condone it. Now, but if tearing down a police station or one of those stations was enough to cause the tension to relax a little bit and then build up, that's fine. But going out telling black people they're wrong for doing that after you just seen 12 niggas get killed in the same year, man, miss me with that shit, bro. So when he said that, I'm like, I get it. But at that time, you should have what's that word that your girl say? You should have he should have reclaimed his time and set his ass down.
Do you think at that point though, they're speaking out of the older them that's wiser now and they know that this ain't the way? Or do you think that they're speaking in that manner because they've been prompted to by somebody that said we need you to get control of your people?
I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I was hoping you said I think that's what more it is. Like, hey man, you the king of Atlanta, right? You the king of the South. Hey, you need to go do something to make sure your people don't get,
And could he be speaking as a businessman too? Because I mean, you said police station, but doesn't he own like several properties out there as well?
Oh, Killer Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows.
Now what happens when they tear up their little mall out there all the time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they always in that area, ransacking everything, robbing people, all kind of stuff. So how long before it spills in? Because like when you go to that kind of stuff, when you look at like the LA riots and things like that,
yeah,
we tear up home and then we have nowhere else to go.
Exactly.
That's where I feel we go wrong. Why do we tear our own stuff?
But no, This is the first. But that's what I'm talking about. This is the first time we tear this, but shit ain't ours. I'm like, go, and he over there ain't no. So don't do that.
But you turn up a place where they for sure gonna militarize and take y'all down. They not gonna let y'all tear up this police station.
They not.
They're not.
You talking about 5 stars on GTA 5, dude? It's not finna happen, dude. The helicopter coming, the tanks. Yeah, bro. Everybody going. The dogs. Everybody going down, dude.
Like I said, I think he said it because of the latter, and I think the latter was letting them know, look, if your people keep doing this, it's gonna be no holds barred.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, they got away with this, but we could have had SWAT come in from another county
and
start taking them all out.
At that time, though, go get T.I. though. Like, you don't start your speech off by millions of black people in Atlanta that literally look at police as, hey, my dad's, I'm looking at you like this. Yeah, I know it. You can't, like, you just got to know your audience, man. Like, why would you, my dad's a police officer?
His publicist should have wrote.
Yeah. He went off script. Because when he said that, you should have looked at the audience was like this, like, because a lot of them didn't know. And it's like, hold on, you talking about we having a war against police, and now you want to tell us your dad, your granddad, and your brother, man.
We might come to you.
Right. Is his dad still alive? Because my next question would be, Did his daddy make the call and say, "Hey man, tell him chill out"?
That's true.
Oh,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not sure if he's still alive or not. You
oh,
know,
Yeah.
like,
or
his
he got
dad-
hit with it. You know, your daddy wouldn't like this.
yeah, or
You know,
the people from the station called his dad. His dad's probably retired. Hey man, could you call your son?
Right.
right,
Or
right,
son, could you do something? So he gets
So-
push from dad, like, hey,
right.
I get it, bro. I get it, but like, could you do it for me? That pays my pitch. Like, do it for me. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what mental space he was in.
Now, see, when we go past that, and we talk about the people that stand up for something, or that claim an organization where they say that we believe in this and this is what we're going to fight for, and then you got people that look like us, such as Candace Owens,
Oh,
that then pulls up outside of the Black Lives Matters lady house and then puts out footage of her out there, kind of displays it, and now it has over 1 million views. Now, low key, they're under attack. People, your house has been given up. People know where you at now. So can you continue to fight when you've been exposed and now people know where you at? You can't even sleep at night because you think people might come for you.
did you hear about the?
That can take the fight out of some people too.
Did you hear about the taxes getting released from BLM?
Yes,
90 million.
and they were spending it on each other.
Yeah, that was a really bad look. Look, 32 million in stocks and bonds. What the what?
And
What?
then everybody in the family, most of the people in the immediate family had a role, and they
Yep.
were getting paid. Like, you get 1 million, you get
Yep,
2 million,
yep.
you get 6 million.
And then
Yeah.
this person got 1.2, this person got 1.4, all these people. And then the Trayvon, not Trayvon Martin. What's your, who was that? Gosh. What was it? Not the one, not George Floyd, the one right before George Floyd. There was
The
something
kid-
else.
I forgot. Yeah, it's been a lot, bro.
They was talking about how much those families actually got. 200,000, 150,000. Yeah, granted, that's a significant amount, but you giving away, you know, my brother got 1.2 million, my sister got 1.4, mom got 1.1, and these people are actually victims of these families are getting these $150,000, $200,000 like. And then, don't even talk about the houses. The houses, bro, it was a bad.
So when you say that, bad look, right?
Yeah.
So now we at a point now, these are the people that we have turned to because everyone else is already paid off, or they're already uninterested, or nobody's going to march for me.
Yes.
But these
Yeah.
people say they will. And I turn to them, and now they technically almost become the same people that I knew I couldn't turn to at first. So now who do I believe in? Who can I go get to help me now? And then I turn to my fellow brother, and he don't want to help me either. That's the cycle that we've been going through as a people, bro. It's like
Yeah.
we can never grow like that.
Every time we get an organization, we can't trust it. Like the NAACP, I was actually part of the NAACP at one point in time until let's just say I don't really agree with a lot of shit they do. But it's like you said, every time we get something with an organization or something to stand behind, it gets corrupt, and then we start doing this money shit, man. It's I don't know.
And it's funny. It's funny when you say that. When they say it's corrupt, okay, you show us the paperwork. But how many other people's organizations aren't being ran like that? But they cool with it because they're not already looking to find the negative in that organization. They take the few positives and accept those instead of being, it's some black people running there. I don't want to be a part of that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because our people do that. They do it with restaurants. They do. Man, I can go here 5 million times. The one time I get bad service, I'm shutting them down. We finna go call everybody.
Yep.
I'm writing corporate.
Oh yeah. Better Business Bureau.
Don't spend your money over there.
Yo, yeah, don't do that. 0 star. I wish they had 0 star.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like it goes back to what you said about the narrative that they're putting out now, trying to speak on the positive things and trying to speak on we need to stand up for our people, all of that. It was the same stuff that KRS-One and all of them was speaking in their music a while back when you had that whole crew speaking. That song Self-Destruction, we had it for Self-Destruction. It's like all of these dudes were on that, but the people like they ride the beat, and then after the song dies and it dies out a little bit, they all disappear, and then the booty shaking song come on, and then we back on the floor.
Yep. See, I think that's I'm gonna be just full disclosure. I'm a huge Tupac fan, but he was at the stage of his career. He was still hot, and his mental changed, and he was on that shit while he was still hot. He was
Right.
still on some like he said, "Nah, ain't no more of this. We about to form together." He was about to form this coalition or whatever, and of course he ends up dead. No surprise there. We talked about that,
Well,
but so then
he was headed in that direction as a teenager,
true,
then-
he was.
and
He
then
was.
especially with who his
Right.
mom was and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff that went
Right,
on.
You're right.
But as he got older, and went to prison, he became bitter at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially with that, I think it was some kind of sexual assault case, something that happened, and then he gets out of jail with death row, and
Yeah,
his whole
yeah,
and so many people have stabbed him in the back. Everything changes.
And then but you're right. He actually started off that way because his mom's abandoned.
Right.
But then he kind of went there, but then he came back, and as he was coming back, of course, he gets murdered. But
He does.
so
And when you go to the Mr. Versace, when you spoke on Michigan, the school districts and all that, we spoke on Vidor, Texas a while back.
Right.
And at Vidor, they had a whole video that was on YouTube or something, or one of these Snapchats, one of these things, where all of these kids were in the hallway using the N-word.
yeah,
And they were talking about it, and they was like saying, "Yeah, I'll call you that, N-word, all that." And I don't believe that was no. They was like, "We'll review the tape." What? It's like it's just like with the guy that just shot the people in Buffalo. We'll
Yeah.
review the tape. This dude was live and shooting people. What is it to review?
yeah.
You see their faces on the video. This dude wearing a whole GoPro shooting people. What is it to talk about? He's guilty. I know you got due process and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, when does it ever go like you just go, you know what? We gonna keep doing this, or this what we gonna do? Like you said, it's kind of like an eye for an eye. They even let now when you go to prison, you can pick shooting squad, firing squad, as one of your your things if you want.
that.
If you
That
right,
was
so
real.
yeah,
Okay, I heard. I was like, nah, that can't be real.
you can choose death by firing squad. But if they why are we spending all this taxpayer money for somebody that did this? You want to be famous? We gonna take it another step up. And for every copycat that come after you, this is what we doing.
yeah,
Stream this. Now I got a GoPro on, and we finna take you out back and pop you. How many people you think gonna keep doing that?
not many.
I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
like
know
when
exactly.
they were taking when they did the man in Jasper when they dragged him behind the truck. Okay, we caught y'all now, and then we finna drag y'all behind the truck.
Exactly. You know what? All right. Say less. I got you.
Right.
Tie your
Get-
ass up. Let's
Bring
go.
the Bronco around. You know, like
Let go.
we're finna get in. So it's like, when does it get to a point where they go, this is blatant, this is what it is, instead of like you said, what is it, HR 350?
Right.
And they got the other bills that they're trying to pass where they're trying to, how do you put a cap on discussing racism and sexism when that's all you see on TV? Then they come to school and we go, we ain't gonna talk about that. But this kid got on a Confederate flag t-shirt, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Right.
But it's allowed though.
But then you go to your job and wear a Black Lives Matter mask and you might get fired.
Yeah. But in that same school district, right? It said examples of shirts that you can wear. And it had a shirt in the actual school manual. It had a red t-shirt with a Confederate flag on it. And it said acceptable.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yep.
In the manual.
I digress.
That's what I'm talking. That's the part I'm talking about. That's undercover racism. You see what I'm
It
saying?
is.
Ain't no way to go.
It's blatant.
Yeah, but they're disguising it as like, oh, this isn't racism. It's
It's a policy.
flag. It's like
Yeah, they call it. They call it heritage.
right.
Heritage. Yeah.
It's
But-
history.
But you know what? How
Yeah,
about
but
this?
If
How
they
about
look
this?
at history, it's history. The Confederates were the last states. The Confederate states were the last states to agree with the Emancipation Proclamation. The last states. So because they wanted to keep slavery. That's part of that history. That's what that flag
Also part of the, but also what that flag does represent, and part of their heritage is they were succeeding from the United States. They was going to be their own.
Right.
So if your heritage is to succeed, but yeah, you still want to, but I'm gonna rock the American flag, and it's a contradiction.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know, man. I
But see,
think
on the other side, some people say, okay, cool, let them wear it because they lost anyway. So how does that go?
Well, I can't let them wear it because like what it represents to my culture. It's
Right.
That's just like saying, okay, let the Germans walk around with the swastikas in front of Jews.
Right.
yeah.
You know, it meant something to the Germans, but it was a catastrophe for the Jews. Every time they see it, it's bad memories. It's the Holocaust. The same thing. Every time I see a Confederate, the only thing that comes to my mind when it comes to the Confederacy is slavery. So,
But if we just start rocking, let's say, the old Black Panther flag, we'll look at
they would swear that we were the Black KKK.
they're militant. But usually, when you hear that, the word militant comes behind it. Or
Yeah.
the militant group.
Because they walked around with M16s and wore all black. They were militant.
Yeah. They were all white.
And walked around with shotguns and
Shotguns.
3-8.
All right, gentlemen, it's 4 minutes past the hour. 10 o'clock. Show's coming to an end. That's right. Shoot, I don't want to get away. Mr. Versace.
What's up?
Oh, no, you gotta go last. B-Fish, what you got? Anything before we close out?
No, sir.
Oh, no. I gotta put you on the big screen. There you go. Now you're on the big screen.
I don't have anything, sir.
For your first official episode, you have nothing.
I don't.
Damn, man.
I'm at a loss right now, man. With all of this stuff that's going on in the world, bro, it's like
What do you
it's
do?
so many different ways to look, and there's so many different things to think, and it's like I hate, man. We go back to prayer, bro. Jesus help us. I mean, or we got to help ourselves, bro. It's like it's hard right now.
Yes. I got nothing. I think you said the same thing. Like, there's so much to unpack here. As a people, as a person, it's gonna take multiple layers. But I would love if we had like some type of platform. I guess this is a small platform, but like something of a greater scale where like-minded brothers and sisters can actually talk about real issues instead of this shit we spend most of our time doing. But I yield my time. Mr. Versace.
I say educate yourselves on us. Stop relying on somebody else to educate you. There's so many platforms out here now where we can find out information. Stay up on politics. And I think that's a problem with us, our people. We ignore politics too much.
Oh, we do.
We need to read the fine print when it comes to politics.
I was guilty of the same thing. It got to a point I just said, man, it's just all bad, so I'm not gonna deal with it.
Yeah,
But
and then the other thing is wake up and stay awake.
So I know we're over time, and you. Oh man. Okay, no, man.
what you got?
It's just that when you spoke on politics,
Mhm.
a lot of homes that were in our village,
Right,
a lot of those people were always told to just go in and vote straight ticket.
right,
Oh,
They never were told to go research your candidate.
right.
You know, like I said, even when Barack Obama was running for president, I literally heard people say, "I'm gonna vote for him because he cute. I'm gonna vote for him because he black."
Right.
You know, stuff like that. You better vote for him. He black. You know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's like, what if you look into it and you find something on both sides of the coin that supports what you think, but you feel like this is the way you're supposed to vote because that's what you've been told all your life.
That's why I say wake up and research.
Right.
Because like you take
Right.
the guy that was in charge of urban housing and development, whatever his name was, that was appointed by Trump. I can't remember.
Right.
You talking about
I can't remember his name. Ben Carson.
yeah, Ben Carson.
Look at him. He black, but he wasn't black.
No.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
he was
You
yeah.
gotta do your homework. And
I
like you said,
Man, he was black.
They're all salesmen.
Ben Carson ain't black.
Right.
He
was black,
no,
bro.
he was not black.
You say he was black? B-Fish.
Be fish.
How?
Don't do it to yourself.
Just because he's dark skinned don't mean he was black.
No.
Hey man, I know a lot. I
That's
know
just
a
like
lot.
saying Clarence Thomas black too.
I know a lot of people, a lot of black people that voted in a way that you would not think they did, bro. I'm telling you that.
Well, no.
I know a lot of them that did that.
So no. There's a difference between voting and actually voicing an opinion that's completely contradictory of everything you are as a man.
No, but some of them actually had arguments behind why they voted a certain way. Like in certain elections, some of them voted for different rights. Some of them voted because they thought that a certain president was going to protect their money. You know what I'm saying? It was different things, man. I mean, so I digress to the point of what you said, Mr. Versace. They need to do their due diligence, read, educate themselves. But here's my thing: if they're taking all of this stuff out of the history books and they're hiding everything, where do you go get the education and learn it from?
When it comes to politicians, they can't hide. Their past actions say who they really are. You can't change policies that you passed in the past. You can't change that. You can't change where you stood before. You can't say all of a sudden, you have never lobbied for a bill to bring more money into the urban areas, and now all of a sudden, now you're concerned with the urban areas. You're going to make sure money gets there. Shut up.
You're doing that for vote.
Right.
Now, even Trump, he wasn't a politician. But remember, decades ago, he said if I was ever to run, I would run as a Republican. They're stupid. They'll vote anything.
And what he said he cleaned up Chicago. What's wrong with Chicago now? The same thing that was wrong when he got elected.
Yeah.
He didn't clean up anything.
I think for black people, I think the worst thing we did was marry ourselves to a political party. Because
I agree.
We would be much stronger as a people if they didn't know what the fuck we was doing. Like, think about it. Just think about it for once. If both Democrats and Republicans were shaking their boots like, man, I wonder where the black vote's going to go. I wonder where black vote's going to go. Then you can actually get shit done. The reason why some Democrats don't do shit because they know you're going to get the votes.
Like you're getting into a whole nother 1 hour session again.
Yeah, you know,
right.
Because,
I kicked that off.
Because
that whole be fish. What the hell?
My bad.
I'll tell you why. If you listen, I was listening yesterday and today. Yeah. Every news station, every politician refers to them, they, the Democrats, the Republicans, always. They're the ones. So it's subliminal brainwashing because we keep categorizing people. You know what? This is what Europeans are good for. They want to create separatism, always. You think about everything since the inception of the 13 colonies, there's been some sort of separatism.
True.
There's been divisiveness. They keep it that way. They're still trying to keep it that way.
So that will never change.
Right.
Yeah, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
And the bad part about it is that all of the news outlets that we can turn to try to go get this, give or take the few that are in the hood, those local newspapers or those blogs and stuff like that, that's what it is. They just pushing the same rhetoric.
They are. They just doing it from their side.
Right.
Yeah.
It's their point of view.
Exactly.
CNN
always says the Republicans did this, all the bad stuff. The Democrats did this, all the good stuff. Go to Fox News. The Democrats did this, all the bad stuff. The Republicans did this, all the good stuff.
It's like but it's always it's crazy because we talked about last. You watch any commercial, it's all about what they or them.
Exactly. What about you,
bro? Yeah, and they be on some. They be on some. I'm not gonna be spineless like such and such. I'm gonna be tough, and I'm gonna build a wall and knock somebody's teeth out. Like, what is this got to do with politics, man? Right. I hate them people just as much as you do. Vote for me. That's that's what they be on.
That's what it is.
Right. And then they win. And then
they win, and then they go back to being the real them.
Right.
No shit get changed.
Nothing get changed.
So last question.
12 minutes.
So what would it look like if they, like you said, Mr. Versace, they take away
the parties
and just go, here are your candidates.
Yep.
Go vote.
Candidates. They can't piggyback off nobody. Now people would have to go and dig up what did they do? What did that candidate do?
Do you think that they should start including a pros and cons list under each candidate in the ballot? Like pass this bill, but was a proponent for this bill. Did this. Like just a little brief description, like a highlights of what they did.
They should about a political biography. Yeah, there should be
because what happens is this. I'll do my research, but I'm not gonna lie. It'll come to like 5 or 6 of them I don't really know. I really don't know because
especially when it comes to local politics.
Yeah, I'll do my stuff on local, but like everything for like as far as the appeals persons, I'm like I don't really I don't have the mental capacity to do research on 42 different slots.
And that's the problem.
Right.
Right now, we're in the midterms, right?
Yeah.
Sheriffs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
District attorneys.
Yeah.
Like, we pass these people off.
Right.
We in the doorway.
They're the ones that actually matter.
They're the ones that matter.
Yeah.
Right. All the local laws is what's dictating everything around you.
Think of all these killings and shootings. They ain't got shit to do with federal government. All these people get like it's about the local sheriffs and how they run their
Because they don't come in until they get called in.
Exactly.
But here's my thing. Can somebody be a sheriff over a county for like 40 some odd
You know
years
why?
running unopposed? Ain't nobody.
That's the problem. That's the
Right.
problem, B-Fish. And I
Right.
see so many ballots where there's no other candidate.
Yeah, I see that too.
Right. Right.
Yes, it's you. You know what I'm saying?
But then some of them go all the way. Yeah, you keep complaining. But see, I have a few people that have ran for office in the local areas, but a lot of times money plays a role in that. They can't afford the campaign. They can't keep up, and it's like, and then when people don't know who they are, they don't want to contribute funds to their thing, even if they know we got to change this, but we just can't help you out, man.
That's what I talked about this past Tuesday.
Right.
There should be a cap. And that's when I told you Ted Cruz got his bill passed where there's no longer a cap on what they pay themselves out of their contributions.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I said there should be a cap to even the playing field. Almost like what they say, we're going by this NIL thing. NIL is a bad idea.
It is.
Horrible. Because now, okay, yeah, the Nick Sabans, the Fishers, all your big Division I schools, right? They have the resources, the boosters to go get these kids, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So let's look at Tarleton State. What they going to
Yeah.
What they going to do? You know,
I will agree, and I also disagree for this reason. Like, these kids didn't get paid.
They need to get paid, but it can't be unlimited. It's got to be a cap.
Yeah. I'm with you.
It's got to be.
No, you said you believe it is a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea per se.
Let me rephrase. The current NIL policy is a bad idea because it's not just college students. I heard B-Fish say college. No, high school kids can get paid now.
Oh yeah, they can. You're right.
Yeah,
but I was just speaking on that because that's what they. That's where we at on that level. So let me ask you a question then. If we go past that and we say, can these kids? Okay, you get an NIL deal.
Right.
Can this money be put into like a trust fund or something where you get it at a later age, or you get it after you at least finish a year of college, or at least get close to your degree? Do something, you know what I'm saying? But I guess no, because they getting paid now. Like,
to me, like I said before on Tuesday, as far as profit margins for big business or any business, profit margins should be a cap by the federal government. You can set caps on everybody. It should be a cap on how much a school can make off of each athlete as far as selling their merchandise. And there should be a cap on the NIL payments for each athlete. Once you hit that cap, that's it. You can't make more than that. Like right now, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Like, Alabama can sell as many jerseys as they want to. They'll sell more jerseys at Alabama than Tarleton State's going to sell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, put a cap on it. But once you hit $100,000 in sales, in apparel sales or merchandise sales, that's it. You can't make any more. That evens out. To me, that levels off the playing field.
But see, okay, so then it comes back down to your fan base and the number of students at your college and all that. Should that play a role in it? Like that, like if you annually enroll 27,000 students versus a college that annually enrolls 900 students, it's not going to be even in that aspect.
So what I'm saying, my thing is this: I didn't say you couldn't sell more merchandise. You just can't profit more.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You can't profit more because if you profit more, that allows you to continue to expand over the Tarleton States. There's no way Tarleton State will ever catch up with the UP.
Gentlemen.
No, okay.
This could be a whole show on Monday.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, like we're throwing away content for no reason. We got content.
We can't help it.
I know.
It's like, yeah.
I know we did.
It all rolls in together.
Yes, it really does.
But who controls it all? Paul, in the stream, so we can talk offline. In the stream.
Okay. Hey, hold on. You know me in the stream.
Oh yeah.
You gotta do your Russell Simmons.
Thank y'all for coming. God bless and good night.
Bye.